Hey, 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 this is Kurt the Boat Doctor out here at North Bend, California Street. Kurt stock. Fog's gonna lift. Anyway, here's one of these boats that I'm telling you, for river fishing, salmon fishing up through here, out crabbing. You know, if you really think about it, if you can find a hole, the holes basically stay the same. They've changed a little bit. Like this is a 93. A guy just put a vinyl wrap on this boat. He's got some little dings and stuff on here, but hell, it's a 93, right? But if you vinyl wrap this for about 1,300 bucks, you'd swear it's a new boat. Yeah, it's very nice. You know, as far as the guy really kept it up. It's got a wiper, good top, size, bag drop. So you figure you buy, sometimes you buy a new one, and sometimes you have to get what you want. But if you just want a good all-around boat, I mean, for crabbing, for, you know, salmon fishing and stuff, this is where you want to look, because you buy a new one, you're going to lose within the first year on depreciation about 20 grand. So you got to figure, even these boats, you know, they're worth about 20. It's an easy 16. Because you got to figure that 115 you buy that was new, that's probably pushing 12 grand plus your controls. Kicker motor's about 4 grand. Figure trailer, used trailer, 1,000. So basically, then you got to give at least 1,000 for the boat, and it's worth more than that. But you're up to that, so you just kind of break it down and see what it's all worth, and that's a good way to get a value. But this is like an 18 foot, but look at the room you get, and for the year, it's pretty dang clean. And where you're, if you got a good hole that don't leak, where it's at is the motor in your steering wheel and control box. That's what makes the boat after that. If you've got a good motor, good 4-stroke like this 115, hell, that's what counts. So anyway, this is a nice boat. Little intruder, I think, alumiweld. Got a 15 horse, which is plenty. Guy up for salmon fishing and stuff, this would be a good get back motor for this boat, because these are flat bottom. But in theory, if you're going to be out here for salmon fishing, you could really easily get by with an 8 horse. But anyway, he's got his prop protector here. Got a 115, got a 13 by 17, I believe. Yep, aluminum prop. Motor looks like brand new, so he must have just got that, so there can't be a lot of hours on this. And this 15 4-stroke, he did bust off the little thing so he just pinched it off. And even if that was leaking, in all theory, when it's running, it isn't going to be enough to hurt anything. But that's your freshwater flush right there is what's missing. So you just undo that and hook a garden hose to that and flush it out. And it doesn't look like he's used this one at all. See how it's gummed up there? So anyway, got a Garmin. There's a transducer. You got stainless steel prop shaft, drive shaft. There's your intake for your flushers. And of course, when you're flushing them, you put the hose on, turn the water on, then start it up. When you get done, you shut the motor off, then turn the water off. And always store it with the motor down. That way all the water comes out of this area right here. So if you, in wintertime it freezes, you get in the habit of just leaving it up, you're going to forget come wintertime. And then you're going to have here, and then it's going to freeze in there, and you could crack this on the housing. So 4-cylinder, turn 6300, dynamite motor. Your oil, this is still one of those you can change your oil real easy. Right there's your oil drain. You just got a filter on the inside. You got your dipstick. It's easier in a car, actually. And you can hook up a little adapter that goes into here with like a shutoff valve. So when you screw that thing, take this plug out here, leave your motor up, you screw it in there, and it's a hose that goes down to your bucket so you don't get splashed. But they do put a bevel here so that oil goes like this, it doesn't hit this anyway, the way it is. So if you have a speedometer, sometimes this is your pickup right here. There's a little hole back there, very small. So if you have one with a speedometer in it and it quits, it's a first place. Take a real fine pin and poke up in there. And if it doesn't, then just get a little air line, just kind of give it a quick blow like that, and it should work. Should, if it's that issue. There's your gear oil right here. That's your check. You take that one off. You want to change it, right up underneath here. You pull that, drain it out, put that one in, start adding gear oil through the top. 2 coats of clear, 2 coats of primer, special paint, true salt water, internal zincs. You got load guides, buddy bearings, rocket launchers. And again, put the bag drop if he has one. I don't even think he has one on this, actually. I don't see the snaps. But those aren't mounted either, so he just made them like that so you can slide them on these seat boxes, and then he put a seal around it too. But I mean, look at the room you got for this little 18-footer. Dual batteries, got a VHF, put some diamond plate up underneath there. See underneath the glove box to hide all the wiring and stuff, or just a blank look that you would get up there. Good idea. See how that one's like that? You could actually do the same thing over there. I just made a bigger glove box for him is what happened. I bet you on that plate up there, but below the glove box, I bet you that's, I'll look at it when I take the boat out. But I think that's why he did it, just give him a bigger glove box instead of a small one. But he could do that on that side, and he could hire all those wires hanging there. And then that's your block over there for the engine stop. And paint that sucker bright green or bright orange. It goes into here, that block does. Because if not, that will blend into that motor bracket, and you'll take off this and you'll be looking. Most of the Ram Sabers are white, so they stand out, but those don't stand out, so you're gonna look, okay, it's off of there, and then you're gonna jump in, put the boat in the water, of course, and then you're gonna trim the motor down. It ain't gonna go anywhere. So there's step two. If you hit the trim and that motor and it ain't going down, that means you didn't take that block out. So you lift that baby up there, and hopefully it didn't jam, because if you keep pushing on that, that thing can pinch, and then good luck getting it out when it's in the water. You almost have to pull it out and pull it out on the land. Sometimes you need to drill it, and then so you can go in and just screw it and then pull it out. So just be careful, make sure you pull that out where I'm at right now. I went ahead and pulled it out, so I, you know, don't forget about it. You can use these. You just trim it up to where it stops, and then lower it. You know, when you lower it, just hits that. The Yamaha doesn't cover those because people keep their finger on the button, which is right up there, and then it just puts pressure and goes plink. And then a Garmin, wiper, compass, bilge pump, nav lights. Fuel gauge I don't think works. I just went ahead and put 7 gallons. It popped it out. So that's telling me the fuel gauge probably ain't hooked up, and it was on totally on the E, or it could be a sender, but I think it's more no power to the gauge. Okay, this is the Boat Doctor out.